Namaskar, I'm Assistant Professor Kritika Dev from LJ School of Law. Today, as you can see on your screen here, we'll be dealing with Indian Penal Code 1860 and under which we'll be reading about dishonest misappropriation of the property. Now, a long term to say, right? But it is not that tough to understand. So, in order to understand the term in detail, we'll see the details, we'll see the section and the ingredients of the section. So, here is the very first question. What do you understand by criminal misappropriation? Right, in order to understand the section, the very important and the individual term mentioned under the section, that is the criminal misappropriation, we need to know the meaning of it. Now, in order to make you understand the meaning of criminal misappropriation, let me give you one example. That, for say, if someday you are walking on a road, okay, or just let's take my example. I'm walking on the road, and there I just find a 500 rupee note. Okay, I find a 500 rupee note. I look here and there, and it was just on a normal road, not on my society road or my campus road, not there. I just found that note on the road, the general road. And now I just looked here and there, but I could not find anybody. Now there, what do you think? What this situation is all about? Have I committed any offense? I just picked that note. I just looked at here and there for the true owner, but I could not find anybody looking up for a note or standing there searching something. So I just took that note and kept it in my pocket. Does that amount to an offense? Now, let me continue with the same example. I took that note, the same example. I found a 500 rupee note and I looked here and there, and there I could I could see that a person is actually inquiring about his 500 rupee note. But even after getting into my knowledge about that thing, I just kept that note in my pocket. Now, does that amount to an offense? Let me give you the third example here, that I took the note, okay? It was as the same case. I found that note on the road. I took that very note and I kept it in my pocket. I tried to find out the owner. Later on, when I went home, I could see that something attached to that note, some number is written, right, on the note, or uh, I could see some number where I could call and find out, it belongs to whom. But I didn't do that. So, in these three situations, have I committed the offense or any kind of offense? Now, let me tell it to you. In the first example, where I took the note, I looked here and there, but I could not find anybody. There, I did not commit any offense, right? Because the note was there on the road and I could not find anybody. And after that, I kept the note in my pocket. The second situation, where I found somebody looking up for the note, inquiring about the same, but I did not confront that person. I kept that note. Now, that is what we call criminal misappropriation of the property. The third one is an extended and a very good example, that initially, the third one, you remember, I took that note home. I found one number, but I did not call because I thought that the true owner might pick up the call. I had the means to find out the true owner. Okay, and even if it is not if even in this example, if we take any other article or a bag, maybe a handbag, right, there I tried to find I the same handbag. I found it on the road and I tried to find out the owner, but I did not that time, and I took that very wallet or that very purse home. But when I searched properly, I could find a diary, or I could find a visiting card, but I did not call anybody. Now, in this situation, when I found the property, I was an innocent person, that I took the or I picked up that very property. I picked up that very purse or that very wallet or that very note. The act was innocent till then. And even till the time I took that very note, purse, or wallet home, it was innocent. but later on my intention came into existence, my guilty mind, that despite of that very fact that I could actually discover the true owner, I did not do so, and I just did not call anybody and kept that wallet, kept that purse with me. So now when it comes to criminal misappropriation, initially it is an innocent act, but later on accompanied by a guilty intention, right? As you could see in that example. So this is what we call criminal misappropriation of property, right? So here you could see that true combination. So this is just about this very term. We'll see in detail the definition. Now the definition is written here. It is mentioned under section 403 of Indian Penal Code 1860. Now what does that say? It says that whoever dishonestly misappropriates or converts to his own use any movable property shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 2 years, or with fine, or with both. So here you can see the definition is small, and later version is the imprisonment, right? So imprisonment is very simple, that may extend to 2 years, means up to 2 years, maximum is 2 years, or with fine, or with both. So here, in order to actually understand it, I have mentioned the ingredients. So the ingredients are, the first one is dishonest misappropriation or conversion of property, right? As we have discussed, that you see some note, right? And even if initially you can see that I took the note and later on I could discover, but I did not do so, right? So that is dishonest misappropriation, but accompanied by earlier innocent act. When I was picking it, I had nobody nearby, right? If same example, if we take in another way, that I took that note from the pocket of somebody, then that will of course amount to theft, and that is, that is the difference. In criminal misappropriation, initially it is an innocent act because you do not know to whom does that belong, right? And later on you tend to discover the same, but your guilty intention comes into play and you do not go to the true owner. And of course the property must be movable, right? In order to pick that property, in order to take that property, the property has to be immovable. You cannot dishonestly misappropriate a villa, a house, or anything which is immovable in nature, right? So this is about the criminal misappropriation of the property. Now, let me quickly quote one more example to you. For say, suddenly, at times when we travel, we see somebody, giving some cash to the hotel management people, or to the waiter, or maybe to a shopkeeper, or whatever. But while putting the wallet back into the pocket, the wallet slips from his hands and it goes down on the floor or on the road. Now you picked up that purse. As I said, initially it is an innocent act. So you picked up that purse in order to return it back to the person. Okay, so innocently. Initially, you had that innocent intention that you will give the purse back to the person. But when you saw that really big purse containing so many notes in it and credit cards and so many other valuable things, you thought, I should not give it back. Now, that is when the dishonest misappropriation comes into role, right? So, I guess this example must have helped you to understand it in a better way. Now, with this, let's before reading this, let me give one more thing to you, that if if you see a dead body for say, right, and you go to somebody's funeral or anything like that, you see a dead body. Okay, now A goes to the funeral of B, where number of people have been gathered. Now A suddenly goes and see that A is still wearing a ring, right? Is still wearing a ring, and suddenly when everybody was crying, he went to near the dead body and he just uh, took that ring, or from the hands of that dead body. Now will that amount to some offense? Will that amount to an offense, taking something or taking some property from the possession of a dead body? Now, this is what we'll read under section 404. It talks about dishonestly misappropriating property from a deceased person, right? And of course, though the person is deceased, though the person is dead, it is it is the property of that very person, and you cannot just take that away like that, right? And during that period, if you are being if you have been working as the servant or as the clerk of the person who is now dead, and then you misappropriate the property from the deceased person, that is the dead person, then the imprisonment is more, and that is up to 7 years. In simple cases, if you take away that property or that valuable thing out of the possession of deceased person, or if you say not that ring, let's take another example also. You find, there is just one person in the house all alone, and the nearby people come when he's dead, okay, in order to support him because there's nobody else. Now you just find time to take away the property which is there in his house. Now, even if you take those properties from the house of a deceased person, that will amount to criminal misappropriation from the deceased person, right? You cannot take away property from the deceased person as well. The punishment goes up to 3 years, and if somebody is employed as the clerk or servant, then the punishment will go to 7 years. So even that is an offense. Yes, keep that in mind. And here are the ingredients, of course. Property must be movable, only then you can take it. Property in the possession of the deceased at the time of the death. Possession as in he must be the owner, and that must be there in his possession. Misappropriate, that we have seen in the example, and of course the person must have the dishonest intention. With this, we are done with criminal misappropriation of property, and I hope, as I always hope, that the concepts are clear. And with this, I would like to take your leave. Until then, keep studying, keep revising, and take care of yourself. Thank you.